did make one more bet yesterday, and the bet was with Sasha. I said, hey, Sasha, since you think Tesla is a better allocation of funds than Palantir, willing to wager? Say hello, everybody. So yesterday I did a live with Kris Patel. Kris Patel recently changed his mind on Palantir. From Palantir, he switched over to Snowflake. I made him a bet for $1,000 to see who's gonna win by the end of 2023. My thesis for Palantir is simple. I think Palantir is going after huge contracts. It takes time to get those huge contracts, but when they do get those huge contracts, they stick. As Arnie always shows us, most of the money coming into Palantir is from existing clients, from existing business, not from new clients. As Palantir gets new clients, they only bring in a certain amount of revenue, and then that revenue becomes larger and larger as they extend and expand their contracts. I also said that it's not easy to get Palantir contracts, and one of the main reasons, in my personal opinion, that people are getting angry about Palantir, like Sasha and other YouTubers and other social media influencers on Twitter, is because they had unrealistic goals and unrealistic numbers when it came to Palantir. For example, and I'm just gonna give you two, most of the people that come up with the price of Palantir, they're not taking into account stock-based compensation and dilution of shares, which gives them a much higher price per share than in actuality what will happen. Arnie brought this to my attention. I don't want to take credit for it, but this is definitely something that I never thought about. So shout out to Arnie. He has an amazing channel. You should definitely check it out. The link is down below, Arnie Investing. And a lot of people have this misconception that Palantir was sandbagging. So when Palantir came out, like one of the quarters, 46% or 49%, whatever, something like that, year over year revenue, they're like, well, Palantir is proposing that it's gonna be 30%. All of a sudden they hit 40-something%. So they said, hey, we're gonna be building on the sandbagging. It's not gonna be 30%, it's not gonna be 40%, but it's gonna be like 50% returns or something like that year over year. No, Palantir was not sandbagging. Palantir was doing exactly what they've been doing this entire time. As per Dr. Karp, Palantir's last 10 years was an average of, I think he said 35% per year. They're averaging 30% per year. That's their stated year over year growth. And people, for some reason, assume that they're sandbagging. They're not. The reason why the number is only 30% as opposed to some quarters that grew over 40%, nearly 50%, is because they know what's gonna happen over the course of 10 years. Some years they have more revenue, while some years they have less revenue, and that evens out to the stated 30% or so. So a lot of people are looking at this last quarter over quarter where we only had around a 26% growth, and the next quarter where it's gonna be super slow and stagnant and we're not growing at all, and they're getting very disappointed. Unfortunately, you're disappointed because you are the ones that set the parameters so high for Palantir, they were unrealistic, and it's not the stated parameters for Palantir, is just your specific parameters. I believe that Palantir is reverse engineering what they're doing as opposed to going the traditional route. For example, Snowflake, which is a great company, they consider a large client of 1 million or more, and they have over 200 of those. Well, for Palantir, their top 20 clients have an average of 46 million or more per contract. There's a huge difference. Snowflake believes that they're gonna start from the bottom and work themselves up. Palantir is like, no, we're gonna go after the big dogs, the governments, the mega cap corporations, and then we will scale down. The question is, which way is gonna work and which technique, which strategy is gonna work best? Kris Patel, and I'm not gonna negate what he was saying because I tend to agree with some of the things that he was saying, is saying Palantir has been around for a long time. When I compared it to Tesla and NVIDIA that took over 10 years for them to actually have their growth curve, Kris is saying, hey, Adam, that's exactly what I'm saying, but Palantir was not able to capitalize on the market, this data transformation that's happening right now. And to this, I'm gonna say, no, they're still going after that market and they're doing it preemptively before people know that they need it. They're just not going after bits and pieces of a certain company's data transformation. They want to revamp the entire company, the entire government agency, not just a small piece of that business, not just a small piece or department of that government or of that branch of military, if that makes sense. And I believe that this is one of the biggest issues that's plaguing Palantir right now, and a lot of people that are long Palantir, and all of a sudden, one quarter over quarter or 2 quarters in a row, Palantir is not doing good, and people are just shitting on Palantir. And for this is why I made a bet with Kris. The bet was supposed to be for $1,000, and now we upped the ante to $2,000. I ended up locking in the price of Palantir yesterday at closing, no after hours count, at $9.91, while Kris locked in Snowflake at $170.44. And this is the standard, this is the threshold, this is the bottom line of where we're starting. Whether the price goes up or down, that's gonna be the number. The final number is gonna be December 31st, 2023 at exactly closing, no after hours count. So I wish Kris the worst of luck, because wishing him good luck is wishing myself bad luck. And although I did hold Snowflake and I did hold C3AI, I now sold out of my position in Snowflake because I cannot support Snowflake since I'm directly betting against Snowflake. Now, I did make one more bet yesterday, and the bet was with Sasha. I said, hey, Sasha, since you think Tesla is a better allocation of funds than Palantir, willing to wager, say $1,000, better percentage return Palantir versus Tesla. We can use that filthy cash you call crypto. I know he doesn't like crypto. That's why I said this. And I said, let's bet for, say, the end of 2023, then for 2024, and then for 2025, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, so on and so forth. And I thought that he was going to take the bet. He doesn't want to take the bet. And his explanation is, there's a big difference between investing and gambling. I don't know where and when the share price of Palantir or Tesla or anyone else will go, nor do I claim to know. I also don't subscribe to fan clubs. Companies I invest in are not my friends or part of my identity. So I'm going to respect what Sasha said, and I'm not going to, poke the bear, so to speak. And I just did a quick response. You're not betting on a coin flip. You're betting based on research and analysis of a company you are investing capital into. It's easy, 100% return on investment without putting up any capital up front. If the thesis is that Tesla outperforms Palantir, but I respect your answer, have a great day. So I'm going to respect what Sasha said, and I'm not going to come after him. Plus, he has a much bigger channel, and I did not even expect for him to actually respond or to actually take the bet. He has too much to lose. Kris, on the other hand, has the same channel as me, and it makes for great content, and it's just a really cool bet to make things interesting. I wish Sasha would take the bet, but like I said, he has nothing to gain from this. He only has to lose. But for me, this is a great investment, not a bet, because if your thesis holds true that Tesla will outperform Palantir, you're going to get a 100% return on your investment without allocating any funds, which means $1,000 that he would put up for this bet, which he thinks he's not going to lose, can be used better suited to, say, buy more Tesla shares right now, because he doesn't have to come out of pocket with $1,000 to lock up the money in any escrow. The point is, guys, I am super bullish on Palantir. I believe in Palantir, and I will be in Palantir at least until the end of 2023. We have a huge NHS contract that I'm really hoping that we're going to get, and we better get it or there's a huge problem. And then next year, we're going to get some answers about the Titan program with the prototypes that we're building right now against Raytheon. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. Plus, as I was telling Kris, I think that maybe Dr. Karp, Alex Karp, our CEO, maybe it's finally getting to him. Maybe he's starting to understand. Maybe he needs to concentrate a little bit more on the commercial, as he's also concentrating on the government. But it's very hard to lock up these huge contracts with a sales force, because most people want to talk to who? The CEO of the company, a C-level executive, when you're spending $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 million on an enterprise system like Palantir, and they don't want to be talking to the low-level, bottom-of-the-barrel sales force that's only been working for less than a year or so. Guys, there is a new video that just came out by Palantir. Let's watch it together, and then I'm going to give you some comments on the video.
From safeguarding national security to protecting public health, Government organizations serve our nation's most critical missions. With limited personnel resources to achieve their goals, agencies must align their people against urgent priorities in an agile manner. However, the scale of personnel and performance data is immense. Data is often codified in disparate formats within a web of siloed systems, limiting leaders' visibility into their workforce and making even the most basic personnel readiness questions like how many employees are at risk or attrition or need additional training difficult to answer. Palantir's Personnel Readiness Module interoperates with existing infrastructure to unify this fractured landscape. With a collaborative foundation in place, users can seamlessly analyze workforce needs and retention gaps while enforcing agency data security policies using built-in, highly granular access controls. Now, with one click, leaders have visibility into their personnel pipeline. Personnel readiness supports competency alignment, career field health assessments, and retention modeling, and enables tailored development plans for employees, identifying the positions for which their skill set aligns and broadening assignments to develop skill sets critical to agency objectives. The module promotes proactive intervention of high-risk behavior, enabling leaders to meet agencies' health and safety goals. Palantir's state-of-the-art access controls ensure sensitive data remains protected. Leveraging personnel readiness, leaders at a federal agency facilitated real-time decision-making and supported operational planning at every echelon of a 1 million-plus person organization. As the pace of innovation quickens and instability becomes more norm than exception, agencies need immediate visibility into their personnel so they can develop and deploy the right people against ever-changing problems.
Guys, before we go any further, and since I'm putting my money where my mouth is and I walk the walk, not just talk the talk, trying to be a champion for Palantir, can you please like, share, and subscribe so this video can hit more people? As per that video, it goes time and time and time again. Palantir just makes you more efficient. And everything they say is in real time. There's the difference. There's no lag, there's no delay. It's in real-time data analytics, and it's through your entire business, through your entire branch, to your entire part of that government that's using Palantir. This is the main difference. For example, this coordinates many different resources, many different people from different agencies, from different branches, from different departments, if you're doing government or you're doing business. And this coordinates between all the different departments in near real time. If somebody's missing in this department, let's put this person here, from here to here, so on and so forth, to make your entire enterprise run. As opposed to a smaller company like a Snowflake or another AI data analytics company, it's not going to solve the issues for you. They're going to give you the data, but they're not going to implement any ways of solving the issues. Now, I am using a very basic example, but you get what I'm trying to say. No other company is doing digital twins in the AI data analytics, and this is what's going to make Palantir one of the most prominent SaaS companies there is when it comes to AI data analytics. It just takes time for people to understand that they actually need Palantir. But once they understand it, Palantir is extremely sticky, and it's going to be nearly impossible to dumb down what you need Palantir for. So Palantir is reverse engineering the way they're coming to market. They are reverse engineering the way they're getting clients. But make no mistake about it, it takes time to get these massive clients. But once they do, these clients then make new contracts, expand on contracts, so on and so forth. Palantir is ahead of its time. Palantir does do, or Snowflake does do, or C3 AI does do, or Data, all of the dogs does do some things Palantir does. However, none of them can do exactly what Palantir does. The question is, can Palantir get to market quick enough? Can Palantir actually get the client to visualize what Palantir does before these smaller companies that offer a much smaller and thinner option to Palantir can steal Palantir's cookies, aka Palantir's TAM, total addressable market? Can they expand from smaller to bigger before Palantir can expand from bigger to smaller? And I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. Guys, thank you so much. Have a great day. The Berg is out.